Now, if you're fairly new to this industry, you do not want to really focus too much on a transition statement to a solution. But if you've been at this for a while, here's what I typically do. After I've gathered enough information, I will say, I think I have something that can help you get that. See how easy that is? I have something that I think can help you get whatever it is they told you they wanted, or they needed, or they had too much of. I can help you with that. And then your job is just to say nothing. This is where it gets really awkward for most of us. Okay, just kind of sit there and let, like a little, word bubble in a cartoon, just let it hang. Just let it hang. Don't jump. Don't say anything. Don't put words in their mouth. Don't say anything. Why? Because the person who speaks next loses control of the conversation. Okay? So Diane, you've experienced this. Yeah. You know this. Oh, yeah. This is this is well-covered territory. And this is like sales 101. Now, I never really, until recently, learned the sales cycle, is what it's called. It's a very strategic move. You do not want to say anything. Let them speak. And if they don't say anything after an uncomfortable period of time, say, well, are you interested in hearing about a solution or not? Because you know what? Here's the deal. Not everybody's interested in a solution. And here's the best part. You have not wasted 1 minute presenting to somebody who is not interested in a solution. Does that have value to your business? Is time money? Yes. I have driven hours to go to present to somebody who had no interest. I had no clue they had no interest. Isn't that hysterical? Have you guys experienced that before? Okay. You probably experienced it in the sense of kind of a glazed look on their face. So anyway, it's the same concept. Okay, so understanding where it is that they are and what they're willing to do for a solution is mindset. You cannot help somebody who doesn't have proper mindset, right? Right. So, I use this technique. We talked about this during this presentation with my children all the time. My children, sometimes they have proper mindset, sometimes they don't. I really can't motivate them to do anything. I can get them excited. I can get them to explore. I can get them to do certain things with leverage. But for the most part, they have to bring themselves to that place to want to do the thing that I want them to do. That's mindset. Okay, so you guys can use this technique socially. You can use it with your friends and family. You can use it with your children, but mostly you want to use this in business. Okay, so practice on the people around you. Okay, so once you've said that transition statement, I think I have something that can help you get that. Your next job, if they express interest, is to set an appointment. Okay, so that's great. I need about 30 minutes of your time. Would Tuesday or Thursday be better? Tuesday? Okay, great. How about 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock? 4 o'clock's right. Okay, awesome. Great. I'm going to call you Tuesday at 4 o'clock, putting it on my calendar. I look forward to talking to you then. And that's all you have to do. Okay, that's it. So you've accomplished your goal. You know what their need is, and you've set an appointment. Okay, so that was really good. It was like you were calling a kitty cat. Okay, so then the next part, when you're presenting to somebody, I want you guys to think about, through the process of presenting, you want them to move them through a continuum of yeses. And the theory is this: if you can get your prospect to agree with you as you're presenting 3 or 4 times, when you ask them to take action, whatever it is, whether it's coming in the business or you just want them to watch this DVD, whatever action you want to establish for them, if they actually execute on it, it'll be a lot easier for them to say yes if they've given you a series of yeses leading up to that. Okay, so what are tie downs? Tie downs are statements like this. And I say this all the time. I always say, isn't that right? That's my way. That's just something I'm really comfortable with saying. That is my particular tie down. But you have to kind of shake it up a little bit. So as you're presenting, every 2 or 3 statements that you make about your products or your company's opportunity, you want to throw in a tie down question. It might be something like, doesn't that make sense? Or are you with me? Or can you see how that can benefit your health and wellness? Can you see how that might help you get a few extra $100 in so you can ease some of the stress? That's a good solution, right? So these are all moving your prospect through a series of yeses. So when you get to the point where you're saying, Okay, now that you've heard about my company's products and you've heard about the business opportunity, how you can make a little bit of money, maybe a lot of extra money, it really just boils down to 3 choices. And the first choice is you can become a customer and X, whatever the features and benefits are of your product, okay? You can come into the business and you can make a little extra money, maybe a lot of extra money. And the third choice is that you can do nothing and life will just continue on much in the same way that it has. Which one of these 3 choices works best for you? Because you know what the reality is, we all love choices. And a fatal mistake I used to make is I used to think that I did such a great job of presenting the science of my company that I just kind of stood there and waited for them to say, yes, how can I get in with you, Pam? And people just don't do that, do they? Have you guys had, okay. Occasionally they do if they know you and love you, but basically people will just sit there with a blank look on their face until you ask them to take specific action. Everything you do, now again, taking specific action can look different in different scenarios. If you're just looking to build rapport, maybe it's to reconnect over coffee. If it is to get them to come to a party, that is a condition of victory. If you want them to listen to a CD in their car, watch a DVD on their computer, take a look online at your website, whatever it is, you have to establish that on the front end. Otherwise, you won't know if you were successful. Okay? You guys with me? You guys with me? That was a tie down right there. Okay. Okay, so then when you get done presenting and you offer them choices and you say which one of these 3 choices works best for you, that's a time when you're probably going to get some objections or some questions, and your job is to overcome those objections. Now, one of the most underused tools in your toolbox is a 3-way call with your upline. I just did a video and uploaded it on YouTube. You guys might want to jot this down. My YouTube channel has all these training videos. They're like 5 minutes or less. There's one on edification. And if you're not using your upline for 3-way calls, I just want to tell you right now, it has nothing to do with answering questions. That's not what a 3-way call is about. Did you guys think it was? Was it to answer questions? Neil, what's it for? Validation. Validation. It's established credibility. It's all about establishing credibility. So I really want to encourage you, if you just Google Pam Herman, edification, it'll pop right up. Okay? So here's your call to action. Did you guys do this? Because I gave you a call to action. Did you guys write your own bio?
I did. I'll be honest.
I appreciate honesty. Okay, here's your call to action. Okay? Your call to action is to write a brief bio. A brief bio about your successes. Where have you been? Where do you want to be? How it is that you can help a prospect get the things that they need. And what I want you to do is to share this bio and practice it with your upline. And if you're already a leader, I want you to practice this with your downline and teach this technique to them. You should all have in your possession a copy of a sideline buddy, a trusted partner in your business. You should have a copy of their bio. Okay? Do you guys understand the purpose of edification and how it can help you at this point of the presentation? Any questions? Comments? Feedback? You guys are so obedient. It's really key that we keep food in your mouth so that you can't respond. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I want to share one last little tidbit with you guys. We kind of fast forward. This is usually about an hour and a half long, this presentation. So if your head hurts, it's okay. It's going to sink in. And again, the training videos will help reinforce some of this content. But I want to share with you guys a tool. And if you have $30 to invest in your business, this is a tool you will want to have. And it's a book entitled 6 Figures in 6 Months. In the back of this book is an access code so that you can measure where you are in your personal effectiveness with your business. There are actually 50 skills that the top earners in our industry know and do. Oftentimes they can't articulate these 50 skills. They just oversimplify by saying, just go out and talk to people. And the more people you talk to, you know, it's a numbers game. Just throw them out on the wall and see if it sticks and blah, blah, blah. You know, turn over more rocks. There's 4 aces in a deck. Blah. Anyway, whatever. You've heard it all. If you read this book, it's the quintessential roadmap to our industry for success. It'll teach you what the top earners know and do. And in the back of it, comes a $99 skills assessment. So it's an online assessment, takes about half an hour. A report will pop up, and you will see what your personal roadblocks are. And that is $30, you guys. $30 will pay tenfold in your business. So do you want to do a personal testimonial of your online assessment? Robin just took hers. Here it is. Can you, Robin, can you just... What Robin and I are going to do is talk on the phone about what it means, but I want to get your impressions of what this assessment. Let's see. Let us check.
I'm good.
There it is.
Okay, so I started reading the book. The good thing is it's in novel form, and so it kind of takes you through a story. And I think a lot of us can relate when we got started in our industry the first time, or the second time, or the third time, however many times it's been. So yesterday I actually took the assessment. I was supposed to take it a little while ago, but I knew I was seeing Pam today, so I'm like, I will take it before I see you. And it's really just asking you a bunch of questions, and you have to be very honest with not how you want to be, but how you actually are. And so I found that I'm like, well, yeah, well, no, not really. I want to be that way. And so it took about 40 minutes to go through all of the questions. And so I think having read is kind of like, you're not so skilled, so I was proud to see I didn't have a whole lot of red. I'm like, okay, well, I don't have as much work as I thought that I did, but so I'm actually, anxious to talk to Pam to just kind of see what it means, because there is a guidebook that kind of walks you through it, but it's 88 pages, so I figured talking to Pam would be quicker than the 88 pages.
Much more efficient.
So, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
You bet.
So we have these books available right here. Take it, start reading. It's a quick read. It's novel form, which is much more entertaining than nonfiction. So that being said, do you guys have any questions for me about this pretty meaty topic of contacting? Kathy. Why don't you come up here? Come, love.
I met Pam over a year ago, so I've known Pam for a while, and I took an assessment almost to this day a year ago, and chose not to pursue the training that went with it. So it was very interesting. A year later, I've been in direct selling for 6 years now, so a year later I retook the test, and I'm right where I was last year. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm still doing the same thing I was doing a year ago, and I'm still in the same place I was a year ago. So that tells me this year we're going to do something drastically different, because I don't want to be another year in the same place over and over and over again. So this test is really great. It opens up your eyes to just clue you in as to the things that you are and you aren't. And it's not to say you're doing bad here, you're doing good there. It's to show you where your strengths are and where you need to maybe put a little more work into. So it's a great assessment. I love it. So
Next year, this time, it's in the universe now.
you guys
We're going to have a
check in with me
reunion.
in a year.
Yes, exactly. Yes, Diane. Oh, okay, great. So that being said, any other questions? Any situation? Yes, ma'am.
What their needs are.
Both. As you're presenting, you're interweaving a value proposition based on what it is they shared with you when you were first talking with them. What was their need? What was their want? As you're presenting, you're extrapolating that information from your memory and you're weaving it into your presentation. Make sense?